The vintage Morgan Dollar series, 1878 to 1921, is the most popular of all U.S. collectible coins. And inside of that, there are special coins, and then there are special coins. The difference, subtle, but the rarity index, how many versus how few, is significant. This next piece is one of the best buys in Philadelphia vintage Morgans, period. Let's have some fun with it. So the year is 1901. It's Philadelphia Mint, but the grade, let's talk about it. So the grading scale is 70 points. 0 to 59 is circulated. The higher, the better the coin. And then 60 to theoretical 70 is uncirculated mint state, right? And the Sheldon scale has been out there ever since I've been doing this, so we're going back over a half a century. The super slider term is so we do not confuse about uncirculated coins. Because if I say about uncirculated coins versus about uncirculated coins, it's two grades. We've referenced this before. No intention of misleading anybody. If these were UNC, we would say they are UNC. These are AU 53 to 55 grade. We call them super sliders. It just flows better. You look at it quickly, you think it's an UNC. It's a beautiful looking coin. But technically, when you look at the price, it's like, how can an UNC be that affordable when it's supposed to be thousands of dollars more? That's the difference. So with that said, let's talk about 1901. In the past, you've heard me or my colleagues talk about the 1918 Pittman Act, when the U.S. government saved the English in India with the run on their silver certificates. But at that time, we were neutral in the war, so we could not give them just Morgan dollars and say, hey, here, have them. So we melted down the Morgan dollars. We just have no idea which ones we melted. However, logic tells us that the 1878s, the first ones, are at the back of the vault, and the 1904s will be closest to the door. So when you open up the door, you grab, well, 60% of all the Morgans ever struck. All mints. And they didn't record it. Well, now, with the help of NGC, PCGS, the independent third-party certification services, we actually kind of have a good idea. Technology is in our favor. It's all available, open, publish, no fees, just here's the information. When you look at this coin, and then you compare it to the key issues, and again, the Morgan Dollar series, Philadelphia has 29 coins. One more than San Francisco because they struck the 8-tail feather, the only 8-tail feather. So it's 28 years plus the 8-tail feather. So 29. The most limited of all of the Philadelphias is the 94P, followed by the 99P, followed by the 93P. 1, 2, and 3, lowest mintage figure possible. And then the 1901 slides in there at number 10. So not bad. It's in the top third for rarity on mintage, but we don't collect by mintage. The Red Book is just a guide. Going to a show, finding an 01 is a different story. We had this last year twice. That's 3 shows a week, 52 weeks a year. So out of 150 plus coin shows that are 5 hours long, we talked about this coin twice. This is the first time this year. The reason is, if you look at NGC and PCGS's population reports, they tell us that there are 23,701 coins they have seen all grades in the last 40 years. So it gives you a little perspective. 6.9 million made, but they've only seen 23,000. Yet when you look at the 85, the 86, the 87 Ps, you're looking at 200, 300,000 coins seen. Right? It varies. But then you go to the brass tacks. The lowest minted, the 94P. They have seen 26,000 plus. The 99P, they have seen 43,000 plus. The 93P, 32,000 plus combined. And again, this one, 23,701 as of today. There are a few coins that are just sleepers, just sitting right there in front of us. We don't see them. We don't understand why. But now when we look at Chapter 1, Mintage Figures, and Chapter 2, which is Population Reports for Relevance, it really hones us in. The other difference is value. And it's a huge thing on this coin. A circulated coin, a fine 12-ish. So a 12 versus a 60 versus a 53, 55. We're looking at $130 to $150. Okay. Now let's go to the other side, the uncirculated category. We're looking at $61 to $7,000 raw to certified, and the certified coins are $1,000 more. I wonder why. Right? When coins are special, certification just helps legitimize and just make the comfort easier on some of these really special coins, especially when the jump is that significant. Now, we did find one of our competitors with the same coin, and about uncirculated, they say a 50. Ours are 53 to 55s, but we're in the same category, right? And they're at $9.95. We're $400 less, the same rarity. Guys, I only had a few of these available. The phones are kind of busy, which is, by the way, a thank you. Give me a 30-second clock, please. Love talking about the special coins inside of each series. Because, again, with 29 Philadelphias, with 28 S's, 26 O's, 13 CC's, the one Denver, add them all up, and then the varieties, there's a lot of them out there. And when you can get a coin like this, that the mintage figure puts it close to the top at number 10. But the rarity index says there's fewer of these coins known than the 3 rarest Morgans made ever at Philadelphia. It just tells you have something special. So my competition again, $9.99, $9.95, we're $400 less. The jump to uncirculated is north of $6,000, closer to $7,000. That's a great picture. That's why this coin's special. You got to give us a call.